Ladies and gentlemen, you're absolutely going to love this. This just gets better and better for me. I just want to point that out. This gets better and better for me. And again, I have to do this as part of the legal documentation for my legal team, because I am, in fact, going after Johnathan, con artist, and any and all of the people that help him peddle the stolen copyrighted material from my books. So this was my interview in early January of this year with Dr. Artis, and we're discussing my two books that have already been published, long since been published. And we're going to just catch the very end, a snippet of that interview. And again, he's holding up one of my books.
The body. Why would they hide the name? The fact that it's mercury, they hide the name. When you go to CDC, they call it thimerosal.
Yep, thimerosal.
When all it is organomercury.
Exactly right. There's a lot more that we're going to learn, and we should absolutely do some more shows together and actually educate the audience more on the things you know and have uncovered.
We're just scratching the surface.
Yep, but I think this is fascinating.
I point out, we're just scratching the surface in that interview.
You know, Johnathan, when you see all of these, now, you've just heard a few, but when you see all of these, and you know you haven't even scratched the surface.
Is that not completely reminiscent of what we just said, what Dr. Artis and I just said? And this was just the other day, August the 25th of 2023. That was Johnathan, con artist, promoting his upcoming book that's not even released yet. Not even released yet. That's what I want to point that out.
You know, Johnathan, when you see all of these, now, you've just heard a few, but when you see all of these, and you know you haven't even scratched the surface.
Promoting his upcoming book, and listen to the language that we're using.
Hide the name. When you go to CDC, they call it thimerosal.
Yep, thimerosal.
When all it is organomercury.
Exactly right. There's a lot more that we're going to learn, and we should absolutely do some more shows together and actually educate the audience more on the things you know and have uncovered.
We're just scratching the surface.
You know, Johnathan, when you see all of these, now, you've just heard a few, but when you see all of these, and you know you haven't even scratched the surface.
Is this not sad and pitiful? Now, what we're going to do, this was a 3-part show that Sid Roth, his new partner in crime, Sid Roth, did with him about his upcoming book titled Josiah Manifesto. And I'm just going to, I've already done a couple of videos on this. I'm just going to make sure I cover the bases here in what's being discussed.
All those things. You know, he's the one who broke the power of Egypt that tried to kill. Well, could there have been a baby born?
So in that video, in this interview, he was talking about the plagues of Egypt and the Supreme Court and Roe versus Wade. That's what his new book is about. The plagues of Egypt, the Supreme Court, and Roe versus Wade, abortion, the abortion laws.
Right in the midst of it, when she was born right in between the hearings of Roe versus Wade in the Supreme Court, she grew up.
Just to make sure I'm covering the bases for my legal team.
Wade in the Supreme Court, she grew up. Trump appointed her on the day of the trumpet at that moment.
And then he talks about Trump and the trumpets. He discusses Trump and the trumpets. The plagues of Egypt. Discussing the plagues of Egypt. That's page 44, ladies and gentlemen. And SCOTUS. The Supreme Court, ladies and gentlemen. And abortion laws. He has no new prophetic words, ladies and gentlemen. All he has is stolen copyrighted material from my published books. There it is, Supreme Court Justice of the United States, Amy. Oh my God. What was he talking about? What was he discussing? Who was he discussing?
Wade in the Supreme Court, she grew up. Trump appointed her on the day of the trumpet at that moment.
Talking about a Supreme Court Justice of the United States, Amy? Oh, who did that, Johnathan, Cahn? He has no new thing. He has no new thing, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing new. All he has, and again, he was talking about Donald Trump and the trumpets. There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Comes straight out of my books. Straight out of my books. Donald Trump and the trumpets? Wow-wee, Johnathan Cahn. Aren't you just incredible that you know how to go in and steal somebody's copyrighted intellectual property? Donald Trump and the trumpets is what he was just talking about. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That actually comes out of my book. I was discussing Donald Trump and the trumpets and SCOTUS and the Supreme Court Justices of the United States and the plagues of Egypt and the ancient pagan gods. Wow-wee, Johnathan Cahn.
Wade in the Supreme Court. She grew up. Trump appointed her on the day of the trumpet. At that moment.
You are a fraud, a thief, and a filthy lucre, Johnathan Cahn, artist. You have nothing new. All you have is stolen copyrighted material from this book and from this book and from the interviews I've done where I've even called you out on a worldwide live broadcasted show, Johnathan Cahn, artist, and I will continue to do so. You will be fully exposed. You will pay dearly for your crimes, and now Sid Roth will pay dearly also. Your new partner in crime, Sid Roth, will have to pay those dues also. Y'all be sure to share this. God bless.